Okay, I am aware that I did not make a video last week, but last week was some fuckery. Cut me some slack. Either way, it's time for the next creature. Today we will be talking about a creature known as the Acrid Lurker or the Lurker Worm. So when I was making this creature, the specific reason that I decided to come up with this thing is I wanted something in the world that was like where they get most of their meats and like milk and stuff from. That is what I was going for. And I didn't want to make like some random fantasy cow that was like, oh, it looks, it's purple and it has like 6 legs. I was like, no, fuck that. I want to make my own thing. Now, how they acquire these meats and milks. So the milk mostly comes from the female acrid lurkers, while the meats come from the male ones. The difference between the two. The females are, oh, you know what? I should probably explain what they look like. So acrid lurkers are about the size, they're big ass worms that are quite literally about the size of cows. For the most part, they're pretty docile. You know, they act like cows. They're just really fucking big worms. Now, the females are covered in a thick fur that covers like their entire body. They look like, they're very silky looking worms, while the males are covered in like fucking thick armor and spines and shit like that. It's insane. They'll use pretty much where the milk comes from is they essentially shave off all the hair on the female worms, which they also will use to make clothes. And once the hair is taken off, the worms secrete like this milk-like substance, and somebody, you know, some weirdo out there was like, I wonder what that tastes like. And now they use it for lots of milk. It pretty much looks exactly like milk. It has like a purple tinge to it, but for the most part, just looks like milk. And they butchered the males essentially. The males are used for breeding, and the meat literally tastes almost exactly like, you know, like beef. It's the same consistency and everything, even though it came from a bug. The only difference is it has like a very faint, like spicy pickle undertone to it. Other than that, like it's like a big ass steak. Now, obviously, you know, all of my creatures have some weird quirk or caveat. These are no different. The one thing you will notice very quickly about acrid lurker worms, they do not live in the wild. Like, it would take a lot for you to be able to find them like in some deepest corner of the wilderness, in the Arborean wilderness. They do not exist in the wild, and that is because people have gone out of their way to essentially domesticate them and bring them with cities because they are still in their larval stage. Acrid lurkers, once they start cocooning, you are too late. Like inside the city, you actually will get fined if you're a hefty fine at that, if your acrid lurkers end up cocooning. One, for the main reason is after they cocoon, they come out as a massive butterfly. I'm talking like Thunderbird rock-sized butterfly that are extremely carnivorous. They eat anything and everything that has meat on its bones, and they shoot acid. They're nasty creatures. They are very nasty creatures, which are like the polar opposites of how they are in their larval stage. So, to mitigate that, they either completely exterminated the ones that were already, you know, giant moths, which was said and done, and they essentially took all the eggs and larvae and essentially domesticated them and used them for meats and their furs. You know, the usual stuff that I've already talked about. Now, like I've said, I did say that they were docile, but however, they're still dangerous in their larval stage. Just, you know, they can't fly and they don't tend to eat people. They're kind of like pigs. They'll eat just about anything that you put in front of them, which is kind of like how the people feed them, but obviously there's regulations in charge because you don't want to just feed them garbage, because then, you know, then the garbage gets into the meat and then you're eating garbage, you know, like I'm a chill. But they can still spit acid in their larval stage. It's not anywhere near as bad as it is when they're like fully moth Like the acid, it's still acid at the end of the day. It's just not as caustic or as strong as mouth form. Either way, that about does it for the Acrid Lurker. As always, thank you for making it this far in the video. If you have any comments or questions or want to know anything about anything in my world, feel free to leave a comment. I am doing better at trying to check the comments that I get. I just tend to forget that my channel exists until I remember, oh, I need to make a video. But yeah, thanks. If you made it this far in the video, you know, go ahead and drop a follow. No, not a follow, a sub. That's what it's called. I'm still new here. Go ahead and drop a sub on YouTube so you know keep up with me and my foolishness. Follow all of my other social media at my link tree in the description. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Gabagoo.